I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, very good. So, for our audience watching, this is Anish Sodani. Am I right? Did I say it
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Correct,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, yeah.
An alumni of Liverpool Business School, and our guest for today. So, we'll have like a chit chat about your journey in upgrad before pursuing the course, during the course, and like what you got from this entire uh, journey. Yeah, would
Sure,
that be
sure.
okay?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. That sounds great. Yeah.
Okay, let's start. So, my first question would be if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so let me start from a bit back when I was in school. So I come from a background where I've been around education all my life. So my parents used to take home coachings for almost 18 years, where there used to be a crowd of 50 to 100 students at my home sitting studying from like standard like LKG to 12. So I always had a passion for education in my life, like to teach, to learn, to grow. And I used to start teaching from way early when I was in seventh. I used to teach sixth standard kids, then when I was in eighth to seventh standard kids. And to fast forward to my journey, then when I did my graduation from NIT Trichy, I used to run my own coaching center inside the college where I used to teach the kids of professors, and so education was always there with me. So I wanted to be a part of educational system. I wanted to do something good for the learners who want to make their career out into any of the domains, or get some outcome or learn something from a very basic primary education to secondary education. From there, when I moved out, I started my career as a business analyst in EXL. But being always having a knack of education, I wanted to get into education again. And then I started again my journey with Allen Career Institute as a mathematics teacher for JEE Mains and Advance. And then moved on from there to work for a startup in Mumbai to build their presence in Mumbai from zero to one. And while I was doing all this stuffs, I wanted to move more from a teaching perspective to a managerial perspective of education. And being an engineer, I had that knack of management in me a bit, although along with the technical knowledge, because when you go to colleges like NITs and IITs, they train you for all of these things. Somewhere I was missing the basic concepts or the basic things which come through an MBA. But at that time in back 2019, 2020, a master's or an MBA was considered to be a full-fledged degree of a 2 years in an offline manner to go to a college and study. But due to some constraints at my end, obviously it was not possible for me to get into a college of a regular 2 years. And then I was just searching out that how should I do this or what should I do to get that neck, and so that I can understand and develop or build businesses properly compared to what I'm doing right now, or where I'm facing struggles, where I'm facing issues and the problems. So yeah, so if you want to know a bit about my past, this is what about my past is, and education has been always my passion, be it from a teaching perspective to a managerial perspective. And I always have love for learners to get, interact, and counsel and coach them as many as I can. So I think till now I would have interacted with more than 20-25K learners all my life. And I feel very good when parents calls me that sir, because of your guidance, my child has cleared this, my child has cleared that, and they've got into this college or they're doing job here now. So that feels very great. So from there, obviously, to getting into management perspective, and then knowing that you lack some of the knowledges, and then doing an MBA where I can't do it as a regular full-time 2 year, I went into searching for an online MBA, which was a very nascent term at that point of time, because to get a degree online was completely a new concept at that point of time. We knew that there used to exist some distance education in India where you can be given books and you can study and give the exams, but that doesn't add to the value, because the whole purpose of doing an MBA is about networking, social connection, learning about it, and then learning from your peers, group projects, and what all they do. So then I went on searching, and along with one of my colleague, Dr. Santosh Sharma, we just exploring to learn more about how we can get into this domain and what all we can do. So then after numerous searches and searching through different portals and different ways, we got to know that there are some of the options which are available to get you an online degree. And there were a lot of online certification management courses available, but that would have not added value to a master's degree which I wanted to pursue, because there are a lot of companies who have a eligibility criteria to have a master's degree of a management with you. So and then obviously there were some colleges who were offering Indian degrees, but they were more of a getting a degree than getting into a networking and connecting, which solely MBA means. So then we came to this option of IMT plus LBS, and we went through the concept of it, how it was, because the concept was also pretty new, that you do some part of it from an Indian university that can be used as a some part in a foreign university, and then combinedly can be given a degree, which looked like, is it very credible or not? Because at the time when I joined this course in upgrad, it was way early, which was 2020, and I was a part of first LBS batch, which started in 2021 June. So the concept was pretty new, being into the first entry into this level, into this domain, or into this new type of a product. It looked very, it looked to me, will it be a credible degree? Will it prove to be credible, or it is just for the namesake? But I think at that time my counselor like built that trust in me that whatever we are doing is credible, and we went on learning about the same course through university portals also, where they were listed, which helped us making the or getting the credibility on a higher part. And then learning this new concept that you can do some part in India and then some part from a foreign college, which is a renowned college, and can combinedly get a degree. So yeah, that's how I finalized to get into IMT plus LBS program, which and was more attractive here because IMT is a very renowned brand in India. So again, getting any of the techs from a renowned brand in India along with NIT Trichy was adding value to my overall portfolio. So that is how I decided that, and obviously my counselor that time was Dhruvesh, and he helped me in getting an understanding. And basically, the best thing I liked about, they were always speaking about the reality, like this is there, this you will get, this you will not get, which we were very clear that what we will have to do and what as a company upgrad will help us in doing it. So I think that's how somewhere we built the trust. We finally decided in I think April or May 2020 that we have to enroll into this, and then I finally enrolled into this program. So yeah, this is more about my journey, why I did this program, from where I come, and what was my motivation to do this program.
That's amazing. I wanted to know, where did you first hear about the upgrad program? Like you must have heard it somewhere, na, and thought maybe this was like a right fit for you.
So as I told, like I was searching for getting into this online degree, and along with one of my colleague who was also parallelly searching. And one day he just called me up and he told me that, see, there is a company named as upgrad. So through a friend, obviously, through a referral, if you want to be very explicit about it. And then he called me up and told me that let's explore this option. I think this looks better than what we are exploring altogether. So yeah, through a friend or through a colleague.
And that led you to choose Liverpool Business School for your
I
management,
think what
right?
led me choose to the IMT plus LBS program is your counselor, because that's what I said in the starting, that the credibility or the trust they built was on the right points, not on the wrong points. Like we were asking, like we wanted to do this program to get a better placement, but they were
Right.
very clear that we will train you. Like
Yeah,
at then you will like it's simple, like you will have to also put in your efforts to get that output. So I think that is where it shows very clarity and transparency that we will have to do our part, and parallelly upgrade will do its part. So counselor helped me to led me to take this program.
that's great. I also wanted to ask you, how did you handle working while you were studying with upgrad? Like, was it difficult? Did the faculty help you out? Like, what was that journey like?
So I think this was the most challenging part of all, even more challenging than deciding to do it. Because when you're working, you come home and you feel that now you have time to just relax. And then when you're not in touch with education or learning from a very long period of time and you get into it becoming a student again, is again a very different thought to think about and decide. So very simple. I think again this is where the schedule management of upgrad, wherein the upgrad buddy, who helped us a lot to let us know that how should we schedule, what should we do, what will be the basic necessities to be complete at what time. So it was very simple that if you spend even 1 hour a day on weekdays and then spend 4 hours to 5 hours on weekends, and your motivation obviously to achieve this degree or complete this degree helps you in turns to get through it. So it's more of a daily process than just studying one day and giving up an exam and getting a degree. Because more or
Right.
less this program, which when I completed it, I got to know that it was more of a practical stuff of projects and case studies compared to a regular mugging up and writing a subjective exam and getting clear out of it. So yeah, I think upgrad comes into that part again because they help us to decide what to do, when to do, how to do. And obviously before, as a working professional, before deciding in any program, committing a good amount of price, you make sure that you will be giving that much time to that particular program.
Right. That's great. Another thing I wanted to ask you is that if you availed any of our placement services like resume building, one-on-one mentorship, among other things. If so, like, how
So
was your
more or
experience?
less, I think I have not uh, availed a lot of placement related part because the reason being entering into this program 4 months only which I was studying, I got a transition. So in 4 months only my transition happened, and a transition happened into a leading edtech company. So upgrad only. And I think that helped me, that 4 months of learning helped me a lot to get into upgrad. And after that, when I was in upgrad, so I basically took some help in building my resume and LinkedIn, but not to that core because I already availed in transition, which was the most important thing while I was finalizing this degree for.
Right. And what specialization did you go for, and like, why did you choose that specialization?
So I took up leadership and strategy, and because I wanted to move into that particular domain further. And the projects which I did on this particular part also was more related to my profile. So that is the flexibility you get when you do this kind of courses, right? You can choose what you want to do. So I was more or less focusing in my job role on online degree programs. So that is where the project title was also this is the one which I chose. Online
Mhm.
degree programs like future of, or what is the possibility of doing this, how is the success rate and everything. So that is helped me to use my specialization and build a report out of it, a thesis report where I end up publishing a 36-page report also on how a strategy should be planned or how a leadership team should be there to plan out to get the better online degree programs into the market.
Correct. That's great. Then how would you rate your overall experience? Would you recommend upgrad to maybe your colleague or friend?
So upgrad has been always my friend till the time from the day they have suggested me to do this. Overall, I'll rate the experience as 9 out of 10 and not 10 on 10 because there is always a scope of improvement. Because when we joined, we were very first batch of LBS. Okay, and our experience was actually very great, but there were some points which in turn were needed to be worked upon, and which when became a part of upgrade and when I interacted with other learners who passed out through LBS batch after that, I think that points were taken into account and were done better. So obviously as we move on we grow ahead, but my experience overall was really good. Like the AMT phase was amazing, the Harvard business case simulations were too good. Like we used to play with as a CEO of the company with different simulations. The group projects were amazing because that's how you join in MBA. But implementing group project in an online program is like very hard thing to do. But we end up doing that. We used to interact with our peers. We used to network with them. So overall experience was pretty good. And I have seen a lot of people. I've recommended a lot of people who've done this program and have grown in their career. And I would still recommend people that who are looking an early phase of their career to get into any managerial role or get into learn the basics of MBA, which will help them to grow in their career in a managerial role. You should just, in a blink of an eye, take this course and go ahead with it without having a second thought. It helped me, it helped one of my colleague, it helped a lot of friends whom I've recommended, and I can see them progressing and getting growth in their career.
That's great. One last thing you would want to tell our audience before we conclude, anything that you would like to share?
So, so one very important thing is that upskilling is very important. Okay, so from the time when our parents used to do their job, to the time when we started doing the job, to the job scenario currently, the pattern or the areas of job have changed, or the requirement or the uh, basic roles and responsibilities of the jobs have changed. And if we don't change ourselves, which obviously our colleges in a day-to-day manner gives to us, but they are very broad level. If you want to niche your domain, if you want to get into some niche working, upskilling is very important. And I think we should keep on upskilling ourselves over a duration of 3 to 4 years so that we are on industry trend. We are with parallel to industry current standards. And we can become an asset to the company instead of becoming a liability to the company. Because if we learn that, if we upskill ourselves, we can help our company to grow, or parallelly, we can start our own company also to grow in that particular area. So just upskilling should be the key till the time you think you want to work, keep upskilling yourself so that it becomes very helpful for you to grow in your career.
That's great. Thank you so much, Anish, for joining us today. We're extremely grateful to have you with us, and we wish you all the best for your future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.